I was sometimes feeling as if I can't breathe because it was very painful. And they can't do anything about this.
Hannah, how did you find
Yeah,
carnivore?
you know what? It's quite only a short story. Today is the 6th week I'm on carnivore. So at this stage this morning, I was still foggy. When I get up in the mornings, my head is still foggy. But in 2005, can I just bring my history in? My history. Okay. In 2005, I started getting blood infections. But round about in 2009, they discovered it's not really blood infection because most of the times they didn't find infection. Then the urologists say it's interstitial cystitis. Now, I don't know if you know what that is because it's the bladder that's inflamed 100% of the time. And what happened then is my bladder wall got so thick. And like the doctor said, it was looking like the moon with craters. So what happens then is that infections get in there or bacteria gets in there very easily. And that's why I got the infections. So at last, my bladder wasn't working anymore. I couldn't urinate like a normal person. So since then, in 2009, actually, I started using the catheter. And Dave, this is a quiet and a still illness because people look at you and they don't see anything wrong. But on the inside, I was having so many problems and pain, so that I had to resign. I was a remedial therapist, and I resigned because I couldn't cope anymore. And then I was diagnosed with cancer 3 years ago. And thank God that it didn't spread to any organs. I still go to the oncologist on a regular basis. And when I went to him in November, he said, my potassium is so high, it's 6,1. And it's supposed to be 3 to 5. But I know why my potassium is so high. I knew it immediately because when they diagnosed me, with this interstitial cystitis, everybody says, get away from meat. And that's exactly what I did. For about 9 years, I was a vegan. And you know what? Avos, bananas, potatoes, everything, they have high potassium. And when you go for your tests, I suppose, I don't know anything about it, but I suppose that's the reason. So, but they said to me that my kidneys also are not working as they must. And like they did that also, that test for kidney working. And that was also not as it should be. And you know what? I was really in trouble because I had this pain all the time and using antibiotics every day since 2011. And I told my sister 6 weeks ago, now I'm at the end. I really think it's time that God come and fetch me because I lose so much weight. I'm worried. I'm anxious. And at this stage of my life, I thought at 66, I don't want to be worried about my health. That's what I always thought. And you know what? It doesn't affect my body also alone. It affected your brain and your mindset. So during the years, I come from a farm. You just hear that fat and meat is so unhealthy for you. So this vegan state didn't do anything for me, the diet. So I said to my sister, now I don't know. I don't know what to do anymore. I don't want to eat veggies because they're high in potassium. The fruit burns my bladder like hell. Sorry for the word, but that's what happened. And you know what? She phoned me 6 weeks ago and she said to me, you know what, Hannah? It seems to me that carnivore diets are so popular nowadays. Have you ever tried it? I said, I don't know anything about that. I've just heard about Tim Noakes and all the cases that were against him. So I knew a bit about the keto, but I didn't know anything about carnivore. And you know what, Dave? Your video, the first one I was watching was one of your videos. So I immediately subscribed to your videos and I watch it every day because you have never stopped that, because it's wonderful. You talk with regular persons. As the Gmail I sent you, I said to you, I'm not a bodybuilder. I'm an old lady. I'm not worrying about how I look, and I just want to feel good. And you can ask my sister, like, she was laughing because she said, wow, you didn't just wait and see step by step. I went in 100%. Well, I didn't tell you that. They said my cholesterol is sky high. I'm not going to worry about that. I went off my statins also 6 weeks ago. So I said, well, now I'm in Afrikaans, you say a proof konijn. I'm the proof. I hope I'm not in the pudding, but let me tell you, if I die of a heart attack, that's okay, because I feel so good. I've never felt like this in my whole last since 2005. I use citrus soda every day. I stopped that after 3 days on being on carnivore. And as I've told my sister just now, people won't believe me. They will think this is rubbish. But this is the most wonderful thing I've ever done since I've started with this bladder interstitial cystitis in 2005. I can tell you many things about my problems, but I'm not going to tell you about that because this whole thing infected. I'm going to use infected my whole life. I have a wonderful husband. So our personal life was also influenced, but he is so wonderful that he was always standing with me. And when I feel sick and I know he wanted to be loved and I couldn't give him any love, he just understood. So really, you know what? I'm not feeling well, like 100%, because I know this is the keto flu. Like sometimes I feel very fatigued, I feel tired, and I'm still craving for my fruit because I was eating this for 11 years. But I feel so good.
So, can you draw some contrast for us to understand, like what are some of those, what are some of the things that make you feel better that have happened in the last 6 weeks?
If I explain to you in this way, that sometimes I wonder when people, because I was always always having an infection. I told you I'm on antibiotics still every day. The bloody infection makes you feel so bad. You are always feverish. You are always burning, sometimes bleeding. And I've wrote in my diary the other day, at one stage I write there, if somebody asked me to draw myself, I would draw a red bladder with arms and legs. And that is how you feel. People, I'm so sure, and that's why I ask you or wrote to you, because let me tell you, there are many ladies who's going to understand what I'm talking about. How is it possible that your bladder can let you feel like that? But the thing is, it started to affect my right kidney as well. So I think that's the reason that my kidney working is not 100%. But my pain is gone in my right kidney, and this burning every day when you go urinating. I was sometimes feeling as if I can't breathe because it was very painful. And they can't do anything about this thing. And as I've said, at the end, it affects everything. Not only your blood, and not only your body, it affects your whole living. And now, yeah, what I said is I thought by myself, if somebody asks you, how are you? And you say, good, I'm feeling good. What does it mean to say I'm feeling good when you never feel good? And you get used to living with that. That's so funny. And that is why I said to you, I immediately felt the difference because I feel good. I stand up every morning and I say, God, thank you. I'm feeling good. And this morning I said, God, thank you that I feel so good. How can I explain it? Because if I say I feel good, that's wonderful. It's a miracle. And just going on this meat, it's so stupid. Going on meat, we were brainwashed. Meat is not good for you. Fat is poison.
How have you been eating for the 6 weeks?
I started immediately with my meat. At this stage, I haven't eaten like bacon because I'm still, if there's anything in that won't, or would influence me. So at this stage, I eat steak. And as I say, we come from uh, a farm environment, so I get nice fatty sheep from my brother, more fat than meat. So I eat that. So I start my diet. My diet at this stage is I start with 2 eggs in the morning, baking it in my fat. There's a special word I see you use for fat. In Afrikaans, we say kayings. That's a Bushman word, kayings. They burnt, you cook your fat and then you use that fat, that nice white fat. And I bake my omelette in that. And I'm still on dairy because I love dairy and I use a little bit of cream and I use butter on my omelette. And then I'm not hungry. That's so funny. The worst thing of this carnivore diet, I lost another 5 kilos. So I am now 55. I think I'm too skinny at this stage, but it seems to me that it's okay now. I'm standing on 55 kilos now for at least 2 weeks. But I lost about that 5 kilos in the first 3 weeks. So and then I'm not hungry at all. Then I love my coffee with about 3 tablespoons of cream. And then, yeah, about 5 o'clock, I will eat steak or mincemeat or a chop. And that's only the thing I eat. I don't know if it's not enough. I'm still very, very, very stupid. That's I watch your stories and I watch Dr. Ken Berry's videos just to see, because I don't have any help here. I will tell you, my brother just told me yesterday, you know what? On which diet are you going to be next? So I said, I've tried everything and this is my last. So I'm still very ignorant with this diet, but I'm learning.
So, have you seen your doctor in the last 6 weeks?
No, I'm going to my doctor at the end of April when we go back. We live in Pretoria, so we're going then. And then he's going, I'm just going for the test. That's just my GP because I'm on the statins. And my medical aid, if I don't go for my regular
Ah.
prescriptions, they will ask you, why are you not? So I'm going. But I'm very, very curious to see about my potassium and my cholesterol because I know it's going to be sky high. Because everybody in your videos warned me about that, ne? But I'm not worried about it because now I know. I now I know. And I feel good. I feel good. Why must I worry?
Yeah, I think that's an important consideration because everyone kind of worries, like, if I'm not taking
Yeah,
drugs, then there's a
yeah,
problem, or,
yes,
if the doctor
yes.
is worried about something, then there's a problem. But actually, we
Yeah,
should be thinking about how do we feel?
yeah, yeah, yeah. And another thing is, can you believe it? that one of the first videos, because I just, when my sister told me about this carnivore, I'm teaching her now. I'm sure I'm going to get her on that too, because she has a lot of problems. I think that's why she started that. But you won't believe when I typed in the first time carnivore diet, which face was the first thing I saw. That Dr. Muhammad with his hair like that.
Dr.
Dave,
Allo.
Dave, you know what? He really, I was so scared, and I phoned my sister. I said, "Did you watch that one?" She said, "No." I said, "Listen, no, 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 no. We must be careful." So at last, yeah. So she said to me, "Watch Dr. Ken Berry," and then I watched that, and then I started watching everybody. But your videos, I watch it every day. I love it. You're like a
That
friend to me.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
It's a little bit scary to hear that Dr. Allo was the first result after you type in carnivore
Yes.
diet.
Yes. Now he's weird. I'm going to send him an email if I can just get his email address. I want to send him an email and stick out my tongue.
Um, so how is your husband about this? How does he feel about you doing this?
Because he knows what I'm going through. He stands with me every time. Like when people ask me, oh, during those 11 years on a vegan diet, when people ask me and you're not too skinny, Anna. Do you eat enough? Then you will tell them she has a problem. Now that's why she does this. Yeah. Can I just tell you something? I don't know when that was, but it was, I think, in the second week. Um, we had so many grapes, and I eat some of the grapes, the Hanepoort grapes, and it's very sweet. And yeah, the next morning I didn't feel very well, so I went on YouTube and I typed in, "Can I cheat?" That's what I said. Can I cheat? And I can't remember which was saying that or whose video that was, but he said, "Please don't cheat the first 90 days because it is as if it will throw you back to the beginning." And I really felt like that for 2 days. So I'm going to try now to go on until 90 days, and I'm not going to cheat again because I really felt um, it felt as if I had very low blood pressure, that feeling. So I'm not going to cheat again.
Wow, but it's great to hear how well you're doing. Um, uh, how are people around you reacting? So your husband's very supportive, but how about
Yeah,
everyone else?
yeah. Um, you know what? At this stage, I don't tell the outside world about that, but my family, especially when because we are here on holiday. My family are all living here. I'm the only one who is in Pretoria. We live there. And so my family, they are all farmers. My two brothers here at Mossel Bay. And well, they believe in meat because we grew up with meat, but we grew up with the fact that fat is not for people. You throw it to the cats outside. And so we grew up that fat is not healthy. My youngest brother, he is on keto. So that's why, not very long, but he eats keto. So he eats his fat, but not much. But as I've told you, my other brother, he asked me on how many different diets are you going to be. So people laugh at you. They think that's funny. Let me tell you, if I must tell it to other people, they will think, yeah, she's weird. But I don't mind. I don't mind. I feel so good.
Mm. That's the important thing that I think I
Yeah.
found I a point I got to quite quickly when I started was, you know, you when you're first starting, you're thinking, oh, this is all a little bit weird, and then you end up feeling so good that you're actually happy to be
yeah,
that weird person
yeah,
because
yeah.
I feel good. I don't care.
Yeah, yeah. I'm so sorry that this happened now at this age, because I know that people normally shake their heads when an old lady like me, I mean, now at 66, what does it matter? I don't know how many years I can live still, but I don't mind if it's only one day. But I'm so sorry that this couldn't have happened, because I resigned when I was 55, and I had a wonderful practice, but I couldn't cope anymore. You know what? When that can I talk about inflammation? It wasn't the infection. When the inflammation flamed up, you lie in bed because you feel so sick, and you wake in tears sometimes because you're desperate.
Where do you see this going for you now? You're just gonna stick on this path for are you gonna
Yes.
give it the 90 days, or can you see this just as being
No,
forever?
no, no. I I'm I don't like to use the word afraid, but I'm so frightened to go back to that. That's why I said I'm so sorry that this didn't happen earlier, because I still could have had a life in teaching. I loved my occupation so much, and I had to stop that. And oh yes, many wonderful things happened. I started to paint, and I started doing my own things, which I couldn't do when I was in my teaching occupation. But still, um, you now ask me what now? I live day by day. Okay, I can tell you I'm a Christian, and yeah, everyone wants to be with the Lord, but the Lord still have a lot of work for me. I have my grandkids, and I have my children, and I'm just so glad that this happened to me. I can just say, praise the Lord, because I told you, I really told my sister, this is now. I don't know how. I don't want to try anything else, because nothing works. Especially when the doctor said my potassium is too high, and he also says, you know what? Is this go higher and higher, you'll have to get dialysis. What? How do you say that? Kidney? Is it the
Yeah,
right word?
dialysis, that's correct.
Yes,
Dialysis, yeah.
yes, yeah. I was flabbergasted. You know what? Really, I just thought, God, what is going to happen next? Am I going to be on a machine now? What now?
Yeah, I had a student last year who was on dialysis, and
Mm.
it's just she's always exhausted, and it just seems like she's always running around to the
Yes,
hospital, and
yes,
just then you get there and you're just sitting there, you know?
yes,
Yeah,
yes,
it's not a pleasant experience.
yes.
Yeah.
Now I'm quite looking forward to my tests, and see what will it show. Especially not, I'm not worried about the cholesterol. I just want to see what's happening with the potassium now, and my kidney. What do you say? The working, my kidney activities. Is it okay? Is it not? Is the activity not too low? Because it's also in the red. Yeah, it shows it's in the red.
So, I wonder, will you come back on and let us know how the results
Yeah,
are?
yeah. I'll send you a Gmail. I have your Gmail address. I'll send you a Gmail and tell you what my tests show. The first time I tested my cholesterol, I remember my doctor phoned me. He said, you must come in immediately. So I went in. He said, what are you doing? Are you eating too much honey? Because my husband and I are honey farmers. We have 10 beehives. And I said, no, it's not the honey. I suppose it's generic or something. You know what? When your cholesterol is 7, they immediately say to you, you're going to get a heart attack. I don't know if you know, in South Africa, we eat statins like the girls and the boys eat Smarties. I don't know of anybody who's not on statins. It is just terrible. My daughter
Wow.
is a pharmacist, and
Just
statins
handing
are
them out.
Smarties. It's like Smarties. Everybody eats it.
Wow, that's not good, especially
No.
for a medication that isn't
Yes.
that
Yes.
effective.
Yes. I've just watched a video yesterday, again, because I want to know the understanding of this cholesterol. And then I think by myself, isn't this what happened to me or made my problem? Didn't it worsen it? Because the inflammation, cholesterol helps for inflammation, and I uh, absolutely took it away from myself. Wasn't this the way I had to cure myself? My body wants to cure itself, and what do? I take it away.
So, how long were you on statins yourself?
Since you know what, I wrote it down something. It's about 9 years. It's about 9 years, and very high, 20 milligrams, and so it's high. They wanted to put me on a high one because my cholesterol was 7 in South Africa. It is 7 mmol, ne? So, but then I asked, no, not too high, please, because the cramps it gave me was terrible. I still get cramps, not so much, but I still get the cramps. Every night I had cramps for many years, and then they give you other stuff to help for the cramps, but so it's much better now since I've stopped it. So that day I started, today 6 weeks back, I immediately stopped the statins. And I said, now I'm going to try carnivore, and that's it. I told you 3 days after I started it, I didn't have to
Yeah.
use citrus soda. You know what? That's wonderful. Wonderful not to use some. And what my small smarties were Panado, because I couldn't use Brufens for my kidney. So my Panados every day. That's what people with interstitial cystitis will tell you. Get a doctor that's not scared to give you pain pills, because pain pills are your friend. You can't cope without it. Every
So
night
that
at 2 o'clock, round
Panadu
the
is a
clock.
pain pill.
I haven't used it. I haven't used it. This is, believe me, I haven't used it. I don't have pain. I don't have, I, thank God. This is the
Well,
answer from God. I want to tell that to Muhammad Ali. What's his name? Ali. I want to tell it to him.
Muhammad Allah.
Yeah. This is from God. This is an answer from God. You know what? What's so wonderful? Oh, I didn't tell you that after they diagnosed me with my cancer, it was grade 3 and it didn't spread. Thank God for that. And I was on vegan for the last, okay, then it was 3 years ago. So at least 8 years I was on vegan. And everybody said, Hannah, you know why it's not spread? It's because you're a vegan. I don't know. But the thing is, when I went to the doctor and he said, now the oncologist told me, if you don't look, you must try to do something with the potassium. We must watch and look after you because it's too high. It's 6.1. And that's when I said, but what did vegan do to me? Did it really help me? It didn't help me because all those green leaves, all the spinach, all the broccoli, all the carrots, all the potatoes, the sweet, everything, they are so high in potassium. Avos, we can get avos every day because we have many avo trees. My daughter also, so we eat many avos. And I don't know if that's the reason. I can't tell you. As I've said to you, I'm still a kid in carnivore, so you must teach me. I'm learning from everybody. I can't give you any advice. I can just tell you what is happening with me after 6 weeks. Not after 6, as I've told you. After 3 days, I could see. the difference already.
That's fantastic. And I really appreciate you coming on and
Yeah.
sharing your story. And I look forward to talking to you further
Okay.
after you get the
Oh, thank
results.
you.
And
Thank
we
you.
wish you all the best.
Yes. And I just hope that I can help people,
Mm,
ladies who have the same problem, because many
mm.
ladies walk with this illness and nobody sees it.